What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we are going to be bantering about the state of the Washington Nationals franchise for the 2023 season. Now, before I get into all of the ins and outs of this organization, we have a corresponding article on laracuenteledger.com. Links to that article will be down in the show notes, the description below. So make sure you check that article out for a full detailed breakdown of the Washington Nationals. Now, we're going to begin with the major acquisitions. Now, the Washington Nationals are going to be an organization that is not going to do a whole lot of good things in 2023. But a couple of the acquisitions that were made in Corey Dickerson and Dominic Smith, to me, are signing with the Washington Nationals all for what they can do for themselves going forward. I think that for both players, both guys are veteran players that are going to be getting a ton of time on the Washington Nationals because of that veteran status, because of their major league pedigree. I also think that had they gone elsewhere, they may not have been given the same opportunity. So this was a smart move by both of them to be able to establish their value, be able to play probably 140, 135, 145 games maybe for the Washington Nationals organization if they can both stay healthy. To me, this was a smart move by the Nationals to pick up these veteran guys who can kind of help be a little bit of a leaders and influence in that clubhouse. But also for the players, it's a very smart move because they're going to be basically guaranteed to be getting time as the Washington Nationals are going to find themselves severely struggling in 2023. Now, when it comes to severe struggles, the significant injury, is that of Stephen Strasburg. This is a guy who has been an absolute albatross for this organization, constantly being hurt. When Strasburg is healthy, this can be one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. His stuff is that dynamic. But the fact is that we have not been able to see that over a full season. This player is constantly getting injured. It's all different things that are constantly happening to him. And this is another season that's going to find himself really predominantly on the injured list. This is going to be a long-term project for the Washington Nationals to try to figure out how exactly they're going to get any value out of the massive contract that they signed him to just a couple of seasons ago. Now, when it comes to the top prospect for the Washington Nationals, Robert Hassell III is that number one prospect. This is a player and a prospect that has a very high hit tool. Evaluators are truly big on his hit ability. There is, exceeding expectations is what was listed about his defense because it was very questionable to begin with. But he has grown into that during his time during pro baseball. I think that for the Nationals, this is going to be the guy that they start to try to build their franchise around, to try to make the next big superstar prospect, the next big superstar outfielder for the Washington Nationals. They have a pedigree of this. Bryce Harper, Juan Soto. Robert Hassell III could potentially be that next guy in line that the Nationals try to build their franchise around. Now, it's said that his estimated major league debut will not be until 2024. In my opinion, I think it'll probably be late in 2024. I don't think that they start the season with him up next year, but I do believe that this is going to be a guy who actually will profile quite well as a very good offensive player in Major League Baseball. Now, when it comes to my bold prediction, this Nationals organization is going to struggle. The on-field product is going to be very, very difficult to watch. And I think that they're going to break the modern era single season record for the worst single season record with a record of 35-125. Yes, absolutely a bold prediction to say that this is going to be the worst team we've ever seen in the modern era of the game. It's not bold to say that they're likely going to lose the most games of any team in 2023. That wouldn't be all that bold. But to say that they will get the worst modern era record, winning just 35 games, that is the bold prediction. Now, when it comes to the divisional ranking prediction, obviously, if I'm saying that they're going to lose the most games and win the fewest, that they're going to end up in 5th place in that National League East division. I think that it is a very difficult division, and I think that there is rising competition even more so in that division when it comes to the Marlins that are going to be better, in my opinion. Obviously, there's a 3-headed juggernaut between the Mets, Braves, and Phillies at the top of it, and the Washington Nationals are going to find themselves very distraught this upcoming season. The one good thing for them is that it is now a balanced schedule, so they won't get beat up on by their division rivals quite as often. But without question, this is going to be one of the worst teams we have ever seen. So now when we grade out the pitching staff, obviously it's an F. Their biggest star name in terms of their pitching staff is Steven Strasburg, and he's really unable to take them out. Following that is Patrick Corbin, who was definitely overpaid, in my opinion. I don't think that this is going to be a guy who's really going to be able to carry the ace mantle that this franchise is going to need and put on him with the contract that they assigned him. I think that there's going to be serious questions about the long-term stability of this organization when it comes to this pitching staff. I think that there needs to be serious overhaul in their player development system to be able to really put this organization back towards a place of contention. And to me, the pitching staff is just not going to be able to do it. Likewise, when we grade out the offense, it is also an F grading. To me, this is a failure of an organization right now. I don't think that they really insulated themselves from the loss that they were going to suffer with Juan Soto. I think that the acquisitions that were made in that Soto deal obviously were never going to total what Soto provided. And I do think that the acquisition of CJ Abrams is going to be a solid one for the organization overall. But this isn't going to be a guy who's really going to produce a ton offensively. This is going to be a defensive first player. And the fact is that to me, the Nationals just did not get enough back for Juan Soto in this deal. And it's going to be something that is really going to haunt them for the next coming couple of seasons. I think that they are going to be in a position in a couple of seasons with Robert Hassel III that they can start maybe building the groundwork, building that foundation. But the way that the offense is set for this 2023 season, it's not looking good. Now, when it comes to grading the off season for the Washington Nationals, it's a D overall. I think that the acquisitions of Dom Smith and Corey Dickerson are going to truly benefit this team in a way that they were not necessarily foreseen to have. I also think that it's going to benefit both players. I think that both are going to be able to establish themselves, be able to play in the predominant number of games for the Washington Nationals this season. I don't think that either one of them is going to get traded because I don't think that they're going to truly have a return to the Nationals that is going to be sufficient enough. So I think that both guys are going to stay on the Nats roster all season and really be able to solidify themselves going back into the market to get a better deal that off season. But when it comes to the off season grading, again, a D overall. Now, as we look and grade out this franchise, obviously it is an F. This to me is a failure of an organization. As I just said, this is a team and an organization that did not protect itself. You knew you were going to lose Juan Soto, whether it was via trade or whether you were going to allow him to walk in free agency because you weren't going to re-sign him. So the question was, how are you best going to protect yourself? And you didn't. To me, Washington is going to struggle in a very big way. As I said, the bold prediction being that they're going to lose the most games in the modern era. But beyond that, I think that the way that this organization has been built up, it really was a surprise of things in 2019 when they won the World Series. But they also had a much different roster then. This complete overhaul of this roster is really calling into question how much more dedicated the ownership group is to this team and to the front office's direction for this plan. I think that there's going to be some things that are going to have to be seen from this organization in 2023 in the front office from this organization to really see exactly where this team is headed in the future. But for now, this overall organizational grading is an F. But I want to hear from you. Let me know, Nats fans, how are you feeling about your team in 2023? Are there any high spots, any bright spots that you're looking forward to? Or is this just going to be a doom and gloom type season as I foresee it to be? But let me know that down in the comments. You can find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball. Make sure you check us out on all our social media platforms. Again, Twitter, banter_baseball, as well as our Instagram and TikTok pages, Baseball Banter Broadcast. Again, there's a corresponding article up on the state of the Washington Nationals franchise. So if you want to check that out, links are down in the show notes below to the article on laracuenteledger.com. Make sure, if you haven't already and you want to show more support for us here, you head over to our merchandise shop, baseballbanterbroadcast.com. It does a huge service as we try to continue to grow this fan base and this community to show that you support this channel. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, as most of our audience is not yet subscribed to this channel. So hit the subscribe, hit the bell so that you're notified each and every time we drop a new broadcast here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast. So I'm going to thank you guys, and I will catch you on the next broadcast when we banter about the world of baseball.